most of the early evening. Anyway, we'll probably come back to that later, but the story of the week was without a doubt League Two Grimsby Town dumping Manchester United out of the Carabao Cup.
Burma with a little jogging run up has missed. It's hit the underside of the bar, and Grimsby Town have knocked Manchester United out of the League Cup.
And one of the heroes of that victory was the Grimsby boss, David Artell, who I'm delighted to say joins us now. David, good morning.
Morning, fellas.
Morning, David.
Have you come back down to earth?
Yeah, certainly after yesterday's first half performance, yeah.
Well, I was sort of going to mention that later on, but I mean, is it that you were so on a high after the Manchester United victory that it was very difficult to get everybody back together for a home game against Bristol Rovers?
Yeah, look, I still thought we deserved at least a point out of the game yesterday. I thought the second half performance, whatever sort of metric you look at, we were better. Across the whole game, the first game was even. They've scored a good goal. But you've got to understand, from my point of view, that the players probably haven't been through that in their careers. So it's a learning point to go, actually, all the media stuff, all the emotional stuff, certainly the emotional stuff that you went through Wednesday night and all day Thursday and even into Friday, you've got to then understand what that took out of you and why the first half performance in particular happened. So, yeah, we'll review that tomorrow morning with them and ask them how they feel. I always ask them how they feel in the games. And yeah, it's a good point to make them understand and learn that, it's as much as it's great beating Manchester United in the week, you've got to then turn up on a weekend as well. And we didn't do that, or we didn't certainly raise to our levels. Not necessarily the Man United levels, but certainly the league form levels that we have done for that first half. But second half, they were fine. They were very good second half, and we deserved, like I say, at least a point. But it didn't fall our way on yesterday afternoon.
David, there's a unique dynamic between managers, isn't there? Because you are absolute rivals for those 90-plus minutes, and yet you would understand what your counterpart is going through emotionally. The prospect of being knocked out. You were very sort of complimentary and supportive of Ruben Amorim afterwards.
Yeah, I think I've said it before. We're all on the same hamster wheel. Some just after some a bit bigger hamster wheels. We're on slightly smaller hamster wheels with maybe less spokes and less things to do in the sense of media duties and etc. But you understand, that he's been in there 8 months or something. You need at least 3, probably 4 transfer windows to make any sort of impression. That's my belief for any manager, not just the Manchester United ones. But you look at a club of that size, and I said it will get heat because a League Two team for the first time in their history has beaten, the giant that is Manchester United. And on one hand, you sort of go, yeah, you understand that, and you certainly understand that as a manager. But then you've got to understand that there's a whole new backroom team. There's new director of footballs, there's new sporting directors, there's new processes, I'm sure, being implemented. That's got nothing to do with Ruben Amorim. He's just the face of all that. And when you think, why is that being implemented? Well, it's probably because it didn't work very well before.
You look very relaxed and happy today, David. And I know managers always go, it's all right winning in the cup, but the most important thing is 3 points on a Saturday. But actually, it's not really in football folklore. This is a result and a moment that will be remembered for, decades, probably. Nobody will remember that you lost to Bristol Rovers yesterday. This match defined Grimsby for years and years. It was brilliant.
Yeah, I said after the game, I think we deserved to win in 90 minutes. We had, in my eyes, a perfectly goal disallowed that got choked off for handball. We fluffed an absolute sitter to make it 3-0 as well. And we limited them to a last 5 minutes of desperation, if you like, with their chances, which wouldn't have come at 3-0. I asked the players to be brave. Go on, don't be anything other than what you've been all season. And they deserve a huge amount of credit for what they, because that's quite a bold thing for a manager to ask you to do, I have to say. Go and get after him, but also go and be good on the ball. You are good on the ball. Yes. Did we rely on Manchester United maybe not playing to their best? Yes. But then I think the players deserve a huge amount of credit for making them play like that. So you're right. It will get talked about for a long time. Certainly a lot longer than Bristol Rovers yesterday. And it's fantastic for the whole town, the community, the owners, everyone associated with the football club, because at this level you're in it for moments like that as well. So a terrific achievement by all involved, really.
Amarin rarely changes his formation. He might change some of the personnel, but you would have expected 3-4-2-1. Does that make your preparation easier? Obviously, you're playing against elite international players, and even with some rotation, but you kind of know the formation, and also the fact that the goalkeeper can be a little bit vulnerable.
Yeah, I think the truth is it does make it easier. I can remember playing Leeds in the League Cup first game on the road after COVID, Bielsa's team. We played the box. Them being a high pressing team, the plan was to find our spare midfielder, and if a centre half come all the way down with him, then we'll be 3 for 3 on the back line, or even 1 for 1 on the back line from really deep. And we were the best team in the first half. And he didn't say anything. I didn't speak to him afterwards other than the handshake at the final whistle. Bielsa, and he said it took us 35 minutes to work you out, and I didn't change at half time, and I wish I did. Because you'll know against Leeds you're probably the better team, not by much, but just raucous atmosphere, and thought this is going great, and I didn't change, and I should have, because I'd have hoped it'd have taken another 35 minutes to work it out in the second half, but it didn't. So they'd already got us at half time, and part of our prep was right. What happens when they've worked us out? What happens? And the answer was he's probably not going to change. Now. Yeah. I'm not sure if that's a criticism or a steadfast belief in what he wants to do. Either way, he's a terrific manager. You don't become Manchester United manager if you're rubbish. You just don't. They can have any manager in the world. And he's obviously a good guy. You can tell he's a good guy. His demeanour, how he is with his players, his interactions with his players, you can see that.
There were quite a few sort of factors which maybe we'll say were slightly in your favour, in that you've got a crowd bang up for it, biggest night ever. The rain is absolutely tipping down. It's, they're coming to an environment they're not really used to. And also, of course, we don't go into extra time anymore. So even though they pull back, if you can hang on for 2-2, you have possibly an even chance going into the penalty shootout. So there were some factors, I suppose, at play in your favour.
Yeah, I think, it's interesting that nobody's mentioned a replay for a payday.
Yeah. Henry loves a replay.
Well, yeah, because it's like, the narrative is if we'd have lost the penalty shootout, it'd be, we wanted a replay. But nobody's mentioned that. So we've got to be fair and we've got to be balanced in our sort of assessments of the whole.
Would you have preferred that then, David? Would you have preferred to have gone to a replay?
Probably not. From a football coach's point of view. I think the owners probably might have. I don't know. Maybe they wouldn't have. Maybe they just wanted the emotional joy that, because let's be honest, the way we did manage to win the tie was probably the best way of doing it as well. So, look, I'm not sure, to be honest. There's merits to both. A replay, if you're going to win the replay at Old Trafford, however long shot that is, you'd take that because you get the financial windfall and the sort of prestige and everything that comes with it. But yeah, if I don't think we can look a gift horse in the mouth. We've won and beaten a terrific team who will improve. They will improve. And we did it our way. And I thought we deserved it. And it wasn't a team of, non-first team players. No. All their big guns come on, and they're bringing on Fernandez and Mbeumo, and we're bringing on a lad who's played, I think it's 12 minutes of first team football, an 18-year-old. So it showed the gulf between us, but we were a team, and we managed to get over the line.
David, you draw on all the influences of your playing career, the managers that you've worked under, but also it's fascinating. I mean, you were at the University of Chester, weren't you? And you did a forensic biology degree. Do you bring any of that element, whether it's a sort of an academic approach or whether it's the forensic approach into management?
Yes, lots of it. So like last year, we take them to Loughborough University, to the NFL Academy, and we watched them train for a bit, and we spoke to the head coach and had a look at the playbook, 120 set pieces, and the head coach was fantastic with us, and we'll never forget Blue 80 as the little when the ball got sort of flicked to the quarterback from the guard and what have you. So, and the lads was brilliant at all that. So you bring all these kind of things. I've been speaking to the squadron leader at the RAF base near us to try and get him to go and see the Red Arrows, but it's their busy time of year, so that'll be done probably later on in the year. So I try and show the lads at least one high performing environment once a year, and I try and expose myself to more than that in a year, and I'm more than happy for staff to go and not be in the training ground for a day if they're going to see a high performing person or a high performing environment. The only thing I ask is that they bring back what they've found and tell us all about it.
Just quickly, David, you've got Sheffield Wednesday in the next round, and I know you're probably thinking about the league games.
They're not in a great place. I think as a football club, we played them last year in the League Cup, and we won at half time before they walloped us second half. We're a better team than that. I don't know if they're a poorer team because I haven't started watching them yet. But it's a fantastic opportunity again to show what we're about. You know, we shouldn't be. We respect everyone and fear no one. And I appreciate that's easy to say after you've just beaten Manchester United, but that was the mantra before we played the game. So it'd be no different whether it's Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday, Newcastle United or Accrington Stanley. It doesn't matter. That's the mentality that we've got, and that's the belief within the group.
David Artell, you put Grimsby back on the football map. It was a brilliant night. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Well done. Wish you the best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks, Henry.
Thanks, David.
Top man, isn't he?
Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. And I mean, he spoke incredibly well after the game, and also his players did as well. I mean, the keeper came out and spoke. So no, that was fascinating.
This is Sunday edition on Talksport with Sean Custis and Henry Winter.